Injured. Clyde was sick, so we kept him out. Nazi tore his ACL, which you know. Dana calf, Fortson shoulder. Isaiah Moore, he's going to have knee surgery. And then KT is making progress. And that's really it. Nothing happened today. Good work today. It's our longest practice. So today was a 2-hour 25 practice. Guys pounded through it. They did a nice job of competing, finishing strong, back and forth, which is good. Offense, defense, special teams got good work in today. So, well, that time's yours.
Just checking. You put Moore and Nazi Johnson on IR. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe Veach will have to.
We've asked you about Prince a little bit before, but he's been basically your first-string guy since you've been in pads. You learned anything about him, or you had some things maybe you thought about him, had him
We're talking Prince running back. He's working in there. He's doing some good things. We want to try to give him as many reps as we can for protection purposes. So he just gets looks at everything as he goes, and he's doing a nice job. You know, he's working hard and doing a nice job. Without 2-5 here today, and yesterday he got some good work.
Too early to say. Maybe he's already earned some type of role, whatever that might be.
We'll see. We'll see. We're 2 weeks away from the first preseason game, and this is kind of the meat of the camp here. So we go 6-7 different 2-hour 25 practices. So these guys got to push through that.
Coach, Jody looked to be in a great deal of pain. You feeling okay about where he's at, Jody Fortson?
Yeah, Jody. They were able to. His shoulder popped out. They were able to get back in. Now it's just a matter of time to let that thing relax. He's still working out and all, but just favoring that shoulder, obviously.
Andy, what's the impact of Nazi not being there for you guys anymore?
Yeah, Nazi was playing good football. Now we've got some other guys that can play there, but he was a good special teams player and he's a good corner. I mean, he's really developed over the years. So, it's too bad that it happened. He's got a good attitude about it, and he'll get back when he can get back.
Andy, like you said, you're into the meat of this now. Seems like there might be a little bit more chippiness from the guys this camp. Do you like that? Have you sort of noticed that? Is this the time where you want to see guys?
We got new guys, so we got new guys, and everybody's competing. And I'm okay with chippy. That's all right. You got to have an edge, and then you got to maintain that. So it's well and good when it's practice 1 and 2, but you got to keep challenging each other as it goes through.
Do you think Travis even needed to say anything publicly yesterday?
Well, he's one of our team leaders, so he felt it, and so he did. Yeah, that's all right. I'm just glad that old that he's got some juice left in him.
Did you have a message for him after yesterday's thing?
He grabbed me and said it to me. So yeah, he gets it. He understands.
Coach, we'll get Justin Watson in a few minutes here. Just what has he meant since you brought him from free agency last year, and how was his rapport with that?
Yeah. He's 100 miles an hour every snap. I mean, he's going to give you a legitimate look every snap. And then he's very detailed. He's obviously very smart. And then you add in the big target and the speed, you can work with that. So he didn't get a lot of credit, especially with the young guys that we have that are jumping in. They get most of the write-ups. But this kid he's a talented player for us, yeah. Very important player for us.
Coach, we usually ask you about red zone activity from an offensive perspective, but Spags says that's one of the key areas for his defense to get better this year. How do you plan it from the practice field as far as making sure that the red zone work you do benefits the defense and gets them what they need?
Yeah, so we Nags offensively, is that what you're asking?
Well, how's Spags?
Yeah, so Spags plays his coverages, works his coverages. We don't game plan against that. That's not what the offense does. They're not game planning, against the offense from a defensive standpoint, but just trying to get the base stuff in. And the one thing I'll tell you about it is the windows when they're playing zone are tighter, really all over the field. And that's because the guys have a better feel, so they're able to tighten down those triangles there that they play. So,
Andy, with you going into your 25th season as a head coach, you've obviously seen how the league changes in terms of position value, the way markets sort of go. With the running back position where it is right now, just what are your overall thoughts on it, and do you think there are possible solutions for running backs maybe getting more money based on obviously their production and their value to the team?
Yeah, I think it's secular. I just think it goes. Running backs when I got in the league were we're making good money, and all of a sudden the pass game came up, and it's working through the colleges and high schools, and so everybody wants to play wide receiver now that teams are throwing the ball. So devalues that position just a bit, but it'll come around. I mean, it'll work its way back around.
Last two, right here.
Andy, your observations on Donovan and Juwan, just at the tackles, how they've progressed. Now you've seen them pass for 3 days.
Yeah, I like their effort. You're never sure exactly what you're going to get there, but they're competing, and that's important. I mean, that's an important part of this, that you're able to push through these practices, run and pass, and I like the way they work their game. Coach Heck likes them, the way they're working, and he's got them in the individual and everything else there. So.
Harold beat me to it. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
Good morning. I was just checking to see what time it was.
How are you enjoying the competition so far with that defensive line and just getting yourself adjusted to the new team here?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's definitely an adjustment here. We definitely work our tails off here, but it's great. Anytime you're going against a good defensive line like that, you're just able to hone in on your skills and get better each day. Make the man across from you better, and you get better. So we just strive for perfection each day, and just go with it.
What's the biggest adjustment that you've had to make?
A lot of plays. We get after. We run a lot of plays, but just more so just the verbiage and everything, and just operation. You in one place for 8 years and everything like that. It's a bit of a change, but that's why we able to be out here and where we are. We adjust, we adapt, and keep rolling. So I would just say just the amount of reps that we get. So.
Does your job change much based on which quarterback is back there?
No, not much. I mean, you still got to protect the spot. Typically what we taught, you give them 10, 11 yards, 12 yards, you should be good. So, if you strive for that each and every set, you'll be good. Obviously, you have a couple of adjustments for guys who want to go inside and whatnot that, it'll change. But for the most part, it doesn't matter who you put back there. We still got to go out there and do our job.
Has the change in team affected your approach? I mean, do you bring have a new sense of enthusiasm to this now?
I'm a kind of guy, put my head down and work. I'm not a very vocal guy out there. Obviously, I will talk to my guys, on the side and stuff like that, but I'm not a rah-rah kind of guy. I get myself juiced up, get going, but for the most part, yeah, you just got to get out there, find that deep down in and let it out. At the end of the day, we're all men here to do a job and get it done. So whatever we got to do to make sure that we succeed, that's what's going to happen.
What have you learned about Joe Tooney since coming to the Chiefs?
Oh, he's great. He's very vocal. He's a great player. He's magnificent in the pass game and everything, and then in the run game as well. So, anytime you play with a guard like that, you got to make sure that everything clean and good to go. So it's a blessing to be able to have him next to me.
And being in this environment for the first time, what's Andy like in the team meetings?
How many have we had? A couple of team meetings. He's cool. He's attention to detail kind of guy. Old school with a lot of things. Make sure we hold each other accountable and all of that good stuff. But for the most part, yeah, we haven't had many team meetings.
Okay. I guess you say Andy's old school and sort of making sure you hold each other accountable. What's an example that has really resonated with you so far into camp?
Oh man, just the way that we approach practice, and a lot of things. Just when you're touching the field, just making sure that you look the part. Just attention to details and just uniform. Out in practice, those small things, go a long way. Because obviously, the more that you pay attention to the details, the other things make it easier. So, as soon as you lock in on all of those things and you key in on all of those things, it makes your job easier. You don't got to worry about that stuff.
You said it's even down to uniform. Is that right?
Yeah, we gotta look the part. You don't like any, we gotta look like we're professionals. You feel me? We gotta go out there, make sure we matching. Jerseys and everything is fit right. Obviously you don't want to have anything, flying around anywhere. But that's league policy. So we're enforcing them. Make sure we do it here, same way that we do it on the field on game day. So.
I was about to say, y'all one of those O-lines that say no sleeves, no extra nothing.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna wear my sleeves. Yeah, I went 1 year without sleeves, and then it's just me. I feel like it's a lot better for me. It keep me cooler. And yeah, I gotta hide my small arms.
What's the biggest strength of the offensive line right now, in your opinion? And then maybe something y'all feel like y'all still need to do? Yes.
Oh man, just the experience of where we're at. All of us, we played a lot of football and a lot of big games, tough games. We're all smart mentally, physically. It's just more so we tying in each and every individual aspect of who we are and how we play and tying it together and figuring out what works, what meshes. But yeah, just the many things that we bring to the table, per guy, I would say is our strength. To be able to run the ball, pass the ball, that's big. We got big, athletic, mobile guys, which, will go a long way.
How critical is Donovan to come in and win the respect of your teammates, despite the fact you've had such a great career?
Oh, man, I go in and I be me. I don't try to reach out, do too much. Obviously we gravitate to, who you are and, other players like that. But I just try to be myself no matter where I'm at. So I feel like I've made a good, niche coming in here so far. Meeting with the guys, chit-chatting with them and everything, joking around, obviously, but still, talking ball and getting into it. So, but that's just how it go in the locker rooms,
Hey, Donovan, yesterday indoors, I noticed Kelsey came over and ran through some drills with the O-line. Have you ever had a tight end do that before? And what kind of message does that send?
I went from one Hall of Fame tight end to another Hall of Fame tight end. So Gronk used to come over and do O-line drills, but it just shows you that, as a tight end, a lot of guys, you want to be finesse and, you want to just be a receiver or anything like that. But to be able to have a guy who's 10, 11, 12 years in, coming over with the O-line to do drills, it just shows that it's more to it that you can do to get better and, be the greatest that you can be. So, to be able to have him come over there is cool. It gives us another break, extra body. So, that's good. But, it just shows the work ethic and everything that needs to go into to be the best.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate y'all.
Justin, what was it like during your free agency period, and did you always know you were going to sign back?
Secretly, I always knew that I was coming back here. We were going back and forth on the numbers, but, that's why I said when you get into year 6 and you've played in big-time football games and, once you experience Arrowhead and Chiefs Kingdom, you want to be a part of it. So I was so glad that it all worked out, came back here and get to do it all again this year.
How many other teams were interested in maybe getting you?
Yeah, there was kind of down the end, there was probably 6 or 7 teams that were making real offers, and telling my agent, it was always, well, let's go back to the Chiefs, because this is where I really wanted to be the whole time.
How much does maybe the rapport that you built with Patrick Mahomes last year have to do with that feeling?
Oh, and yeah, he's when you play with the best quarterback in the NFL and the whole world, you want to be a part of that. It's special, and know him as a person, as a friend, and also as a teammate. There's all kinds of guys in this locker room that you want to be around, and Patrick's definitely one of them.
What's the next step for you in the evolution of your game?
Yeah, I think last year when I came here, it was getting a feel, trying to find a rapport with Patrick, and this year really the expectation is perfection. You're chasing that next level of being perfect, being great on every single play, and so it's cool seeing that we can pick up where we ended last year and just build on that this year.
What's the experience about the competition in camp so far, first few days with pads? How's it going back and forth with the secondary?
Yeah, it's we come out here and we compete like heck, and we're battling each other, and then as soon as practice is over, it's all handshaking and we're laughing up in the locker room. So that's what's cool about a football team is you come out here and you beat the heck out of each other, and then you have so much respect for the guy across you when you come back in the locker room. You're even closer than you were when you came out here.
What's the biggest difference, in your opinion, between the wide receiver group last year and the one that's coming into this year?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of change in this receiver room over the last 2 seasons, and last year I was a new guy, and even just being here for 1 season, kind of this year, it's like you're the seasoned vet. My MVS, myself are kind of the only 2 vets that we've had play in this system, and so it's just becoming a leader this year, and we have a bunch of young guys that are just chomping at the bit and really pushing everybody. So it's been a good mix of older guys and young guys so far in camp.
Are there Things about Blaine Gabbert that stood out to you from your time as teammates in Tampa?
Blaine's one of my closest friends. We were working out all offseason together while we were still free agents. And so whenever I signed, I put the full court press on him, wanting to get him up here because he's such a tremendous talent. And to get him in this quarterback system and working with Pat and seeing how those two talk about the game, I think Blaine's going to have a lot of success in the preseason and whatever capacity he has to throw the ball here.
Justin, it's guys like Juju and McCollum moving on, it just creates more opportunity. How are you viewing that for yourself, maybe, and some of the goals that you have for 2023?
Yeah, I think goals are great. What's more important is coming out here, working your butt off every day, trying to win every single rep, trying to catch every single pass. So, I've always been a believer that if you take care of the day-to-day, the goals will take care of themselves.
Justin, just with Sky and Moore, just wondering if you can notice a discernible difference between last year and this year with them and where it's at.
Sky's taken a huge step. It's been really cool to see him build on that confidence that we saw at the end of last season. And so I think you just see a guy that starting to understand defenses, really has a good feel for our concepts, and same thing, has a great relationship with Pat. So he had an unbelievable spring, and I think he's done the same thing, taking off so far in camp.
Just give us a sense as a wide receiver, just how much does change in maybe your production on the field when you do understand those things you're just talking about?
Yeah, I think your biggest asset as a receiver is when you can play fast. And when you're a rookie and you're seeing new coverages and you're running new plays and you're thinking a little bit, you just play a little bit slower whether you want to or not. So I think you're just seeing a different level of speed that Sky's playing with this year because he's processing everything so much faster.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, thanks so much.
How y'all doing?
Josh, does it seem more chippier this year compared to last year's camp?
I would just say people are competing. Y'all feel the heat out here. Everybody still loves each other at the end of the day. I wouldn't say it's more chippy or anything. It's just, guys are competing hard. Whatever you guys see out here, that's the worst of it. We go in the locker room and we're hugging and laughing. So, we're all good at the end of the day.
Joshua, you got the key to the city, your hometown. Just what was that feeling like, and what was your whole offseason like?
Oh man, that was a blessing. Especially coming from a city like Fayetteville. Everybody is so just happy for me. They feel like they want to ring, like they won a championship, as they should, because they were supporting me all the way. So many Chiefs fans back there now, and I love my city more than they'll ever know. Like all the just good things they've done for me representing. It's just a blessing to be from where I am from.
What was it like to see Nazee go down? What's your thoughts on him going down?
Oh yeah, man. Nazee, he's been such a just great guy in the locker room. Like he's been doing this thing on the field, especially like this camp. So seeing something like that happen to somebody I'm so close with, I speak to him. He's easily one of the closest guys to me in the locker room. It hurt to see that, and I used it as motivation. I spoke to him when it happened later. And I spoke to him this morning, and he's just telling me, use him as inspiration, and that's what I try to do. Go out there and remember, like, okay, he was giving it his all. He didn't get the result he wanted. Nobody wants to go down, so he's saying, you go out there, give it your all, and I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah, what does this team do to pick up for that loss, I guess?
We have a lot of guys, a lot of great players. He was a great player on defense this camp. But even last year, he was doing so many things on special teams that hurts. But we have a lot of talented guys. I would say Coach Reid and all the coaches really just do a great job in making sure the next person is ready and prepared. So hopefully, I don't expect to see any hitch in production. I think the next guy jump up there and do his thing and take his role. But, it's definitely going to hurt.
Josh, that competition between you guys and the wide receivers, especially some of the new guys, how's that going? What have you seen from them that's kind of impressed you and made you be better too?
Right. I think all of the receivers, like as a whole, they're a great group. There's a lot of talented guys, a lot of slept-on dudes, and you can see it, in our 7-on-7s, one-on-ones, they're skillful. Like everybody has their own little, craft. Everybody has their own gift that they're good at, and they're working. You know what I'm saying? They're making us better. We're making them better, and I'm really excited to see what they can do this season.
Your offseason What are some points that you worked on that you wanted to be better at coming into this specific camp?
Definitely the little things. Of course, you can always work on the playbook, and that's what I did. That's what I'm still doing. But, just technique things that might have got me in trouble last year, little penalties, stuff like that. That was a big emphasis, and just working on my game as a whole, being prepared, and knowing how to attack this second year.
Why do you think it's so hard for teams to repeat as champions? It's been a very long time since somebody did it. Why do you think it's so hard to win 2 in a row?
I would say, especially Coach Reid, always saying edge as one of our mottos. Probably that, keeping that edge, not feeling complacent. And, being here, you guys see how we practice. You see how hard we go every day. I don't think anybody on that field is complacent. I think everybody's going 100%. And, if you can't see that, you're not watching the practices.
What made you change your number?
You know what? I wore 2 in college. They came to me asking if I wanted to do that. Drew wore 23 in college too, so it was kind of a mutual thing. I was like, yeah, why not? Go back to my old number. I think everybody would want to play in their college number.
Josh, you've been doing a couple pranks in the locker room there. I saw the snake thing. What's going on there with that?
Nah, that was they had the little cooler in there with the snake thing, man, and really all I was doing was recording it. That was the crazy thing is they got me the first time. They had one of the little kids in there. And he was asking me if I had one of the ice cream bars. Like, oh, man, that's nice. You know what I'm saying? Little kid offering ice cream bars in the locker room. I go up to him, man, and he just sweet as can be, man. He, walk up. He opened it up, man. I jumped up. Like, it was like 3 of us, man. We ran out the locker room running. So I'm just glad nobody caught me.
Josh, where do you notice that stuff you mentioned you work on the off season? Where do you notice that out here on the field?
Definitely just press. We do a lot of press. Working on that press technique. Coach Man, Coach Spags, even with them, like now, we're still, just honing and trying to perfect little techniques, things to expect at the line of scrimmage. So that was an emphasis in the offseason. It's still an emphasis now, and that's where we're working it.
Do you have any expectations for the season?
For myself, I definitely just want to use every ounce of potential I have. I know how good I can be. For the team, I mean, we want to win this championship again. So that's definitely part of our expectations, and that's what we're striving for.
2 good questions, Josh. Did you gain weight this year, and what are your first impressions of Rasheed Rice?
Weight-wise, the list of weight is always a little tricky, especially at the end of camp. You lose weight, but then I ended up, gaining a good amount more than what was listed, but it was in shape weight. And I'm probably about the same as whatever that weight was last year. And Rasheed is going to be a great player. You see he's great at attacking the ball. He's been moving real quick this camp, and I can't wait to see what he'll do out there on the field.
Anybody else? Thanks, everybody.
All right. Yeah. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe.